Hello, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to iLeague Season 3's Dota 2 Chinese qualifiers. Here we have the game between CDEC Gaming and Old Boys. This is Game 2 of the two-game series. Had trouble holding in the ho-ha-ha jokes after seeing the Sniper Treant come through, so did hesitate a little bit on that. But yeah, we are in Game 2 here with Old Boys down a game, actually. CDEC were able to take the first game, and we're still seeing Long DD drafting, so we'll see what he brings to bear against Sniper Treant. Seems intentional to leave it through, as they did ban out the Queen of Pain and the Spirit Breaker, two heroes that were very successful in the previous game. But enough about that. Thanks for tuning in here to Beyond the Summit. I'd like to welcome in my co-caster. Once again, I am Blaze, and this is FlyingZebra. After I start the call with him. Alright, man, already did the introduction. Sorry about that. How's it going?
Good. We're gonna see some Sniper for the first time in a while.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
Banning out the Queen of Pain. Shiki just absolutely wrecked with that hero in game number 1, so they go ahead, respectfully ban that, as well as the Spirit Breaker out. And I was just talking to Phage, and it seems like apparently CDEC are drafting their mid every single time in the first phase. So in this case, they don't get the Queen of Pain, but they do get the Sniper and the Treant to cover it. So it's going to be on Old Boys to try to get the jump on him and try to make sure that they can actually build momentum in this game, so we don't just see a turtle setup, because essentially a Sniper holding the high ground with the living armor to heal back up buildings is just turning the dire base into this fortress that's unassailable, and we've seen many games go hours and hours as a result of that fact. So hopefully Old Boys are going to try to up the tempo a little bit, find some multiple instances of damage to burn through that living armor, and take it to Sniper.
Yeah, they banned out the AA, so the Sniper AA combo, or the Storm AA combo is not going to be there like we saw earlier today. But they'll have some other options. I wonder what it's going to be. Maybe even something like a Jakiro isn't too crazy, but it's a little clunky along with Earthshaker.
What do you think about Leshrac?
Lesh is... I think it's a little worse than Jakiro in terms of how much more you have to commit to actually pushing down towers and upping the tempo. But if you do get to like a semi-carry stage, it's not too bad. The problem is the Sniper still does pretty well against him.
Yeah, definitely. You probably need to be able to blink in still or something like that, and that's a lot of money to expect from a support. Unless you're like running FY, Midas rushing Leshrac, it's very unlikely that you're going to be able to get the farm you need to really facilitate more than just tower siege. So for now, the Lina will be picked up for the side of CDEC, probably as a support. Works really well with the Treant Protector and Leech Seed there. So should be providing pretty good coverage across the board. And yeah, we already saw some good roaming from Garter and Q on the Lina Rubik. Treant Lina isn't that much more difficult. It does mean you have to choose the Leech Seed initially instead of the Living Armor, but for the most part that just takes the fight and puts it into your hands with the early smoke. So we'll see how Old Boys react to that. But for now, a pretty generic opener, I'd have to say, between the Storm and the Earthshaker. They could go a lot of ways with this.
Right. And they decided to go with a little bit stronger roaming potential. Some more lightning presence. Maybe they want a hero like Juggernaut or something that can combo with the lift into maybe a spin.
Yeah. These are really defensive supports. Earthshaker and Rubik implies, I think Joe's going to be running a very hard carry here. Could go Juggernaut, could go for the Phantom Assassin, actually, would be really good here, I think. Hard when the Lina gets really farmed, but earlier on, if he can kind of build up the BKB quick enough to negate the Luna Blade, he'll be okay to kind of fight up against them. But now we see the Axe. So not only are you having to build up an item to deal with overgrowth, enough tankiness to survive the Laguna Blade, but you also are going to be just disabled hard by the Berserker's Call in a lot of situations. So although PA is kind of that natural hero to jump on Sniper, it might be too squishy here. I like the idea, but I mean, the Culling Blade is just really going to wreak havoc with any squishy carry that they go for as a glass cannon.
Yeah, and so far I like CDEC's draft a bit more. Just the potential of or in the flexibility of their heroes in terms of where they can go and what they can do is so much stronger. Like the Tree and the Axe is a really strong dual lane that they could take aggressively, and these defensive supports don't have much damage output. I don't think they can fight through that, and they could even just like feed kills away if the Tree has like a boots. And then the Lina and a support Lina with any kind of dual lane with the carry is pretty strong as well.
So CDEC's last hero is probably going to go to Aggressive on the safe lane. Obviously, he's shown a lot of variability and versatility as far as what he kind of goes for. What do you think is going to be best against this caster-oriented lineup? Could he go for an anti-mage? Is that too greedy?
If they could put on the pressure with the axe tree, I feel like the anti-mage is okay because I feel like that dual lane could put a lot of make a lot of space in terms of keeping the supports bottom. And I think Lena and anti-mage can handle almost any lane, especially if that's like a Zeus off lane or something.
Yeah, I look at it, and although Old Boys have a ton of potential damage, it's all magic based. So I really feel that somebody that can deal with that, a safe lane Viper, a safe lane anti-mage, somebody that mitigates that heavily, is going to be in a really good position to keep fighting and stay in the action, and honestly stay on the front line so Sniper can stay on the back. It's just going to be a good tool in enabling them. Like right now, Old Boys are drafting heavily for if we can get in position to kill the Sniper, we'll have the tools to do so. Because they've got Fissure, Ball Lightning forward, they've got Lightning ×2. You get one bolt down and an ultimate, and that's half of Sniper's HP. But end of the day, if they can pick up another core hero that they have to worry about that's able to soak up some of that damage, then it's going to be kind of limited what Old Boys can really do overall. So still think the Zeus is pretty powerful, stopping the Blink Daggers and putting out some good damage as a whole. He should be able to always at least get a chunk of Sniper's HP down with the ulti. So I like the pickup, but I feel that... Whoa.
Okay.
Huh.
So I think they're under the same impression as you, thinking that Old Boys will have to pick Zhou a really hard carry here, just because of what they have so far. They need a lot of damage output from something, and something that goes really late against a Sniper tree. So they're looking to be proactive about it.
Yeah, certainly are. I mean, that's going to be a hero that throws a wrench in the works no matter what. Like Phage was talking about, their last pick is usually their most telling pick as far as how the lanes are going to play out. Like, up until that point, a lot of heroes are flexible. Sniper, go safe lane, go mid lane. Lena, same thing, but support is also an option. Axe could be off lane, Axe could be safe. We have seen off lane Tramp, but in this case, aggro try seems reasonable. Could they actually run safe lane Axe, mid Sniper, and still go for an aggro try of Tree, Lena, Undying? Like, I don't see any carry having a fun time with that.
I feel like it's going to be just dual lanes.
Dual lanes, okay, that makes sense.
They're going to be strong enough in terms of like an Undying Tree dual lane, and then maybe the Lena as well, and then just have the Axe soloing against anybody off lane. But if they do dual lanes, the Axe can solo for a while, get some core items or just some levels, and then just go jungle and give Lena the lane or something.
Yeah.
And then she can actually get a quick Yules and put a lot of pressure on the map.
So it's pretty clear that Aggressive is going to take the Axe to the safe lane. Shiki is going to run the Sniper mid. And then everything else is kind of variable based on which heroes fall where and where they need the most emphasis. Garter, honestly, as long as he hits level 2, is still going to be able to help any of the lanes. But if you, let's say, he's kind of babysitting the Axe safe lane, pulling a little bit, and then he gets the living armor down on the Undying. Undying is already a hero that naturally survives really well in the thick of things, in a big brawl. And Earthshaker and Rubik don't put out that much damage in the earlier levels. Is there a possibility Undying with living armor could just run all over them?
Yeah, I mean, I think you could do a lot of work here. There's a decent amount of slow and control for them that they can probably keep people around the tombstone for a good amount of time. But just the decay alone is going to be really strong here against these heroes. There's so much burst as well with the Axe and the Lena that when you decay stack a bunch of times, it's just going to be so much easier to chop them and blow them up.
Yep. So moving about here, we're going to see Old Boys look to control the top rune. You've got Long DD on the Rubik boots first. Zhou is going to be playing on the Slark. Figure he is going to the safe lane. It's hard to tell, honestly. Maybe the Zeus kind of solos that lane with boots, but it gets a little awkward from there. Anyways, H20 is going to be the Earthshaker here, definitely in the lane with the Slark, and then YYF is going to be the solo mid Storm. So it kind of looks to me like they're going aggro try with a safe lane solo Zeus. DD playing that one. Is that a fair assessment?
It seems like they're trying to dodge some kind of aggro.
Exactly. So it's still they're looking for a 3v1 rather than a 3v3. But I feel like this could backfire if CDEC just rotate back top the heroes that they need. I mean, if they leave the Zeus to 1v1 against the Lena or something like that, if Lena's flexible enough in her... I don't know, Q isn't really... I haven't seen him really farm a lot. As far as CS goes, it's probably acceptable, but dueling out against a natural laner, a solo laner like DD, might not be the best. So for now, let's just leave the Undying bottom. They won't go for the king of the try v try, which is Undying in that matchup, but they could do some rotations here and mix things up a little bit, I think. Either way, for now, it's going to be a very active top lane. Garter and Q. It's going to be Boots versus Treant, and they're going to be looking for some blood early. But first, telekinesis kind of wasted here. A long cooldown, and now they can get very aggressive against 820. Going to go for the Leech Seed. The Fissure will stop things for now. The Counter Helix still doing some work, but no Light Strike Array is the big deal. Light Strike Array is out of range of the Earthshaker. It will connect on the Slark, and it looks like he'll go down. He used a pounce already, and that's the first blood. Oh, man. Just such a beefy front line between the Axe and the Treant Protector. And just connecting with any spells will allow them to follow through, especially when they hit level 2. That's when it gets very dangerous. In the meantime, a 1v1 matchup is Zeus versus Undying. Not really what he was expecting. And look, that decay we were talking about. He's got 3 stacks of decay against him, and he has 60 HP. He has a max of 321. The zombie might kill him. The zombie almost killed him, but the decay fell off at the last second. If that decay stack hadn't worn off just then, he would have died to a single zombie. Thanks to his only 300 HP pool. Aggressive on the top lane does get fissured. Near the tower will take a lot of pot shots, but he's very close to Tranquil Boots, and at that point, his HP pool won't matter so much.
They tried really hard to trap him under the tower with the fissure there. They lifted him because he was just slightly overextended, and the fissure just caught him on the wrong side, unfortunately.
They really needed that return kill too. I feel the lanes are going to go CDEC's way once again. They have just so many ways they can be flexible. They can rotate the supports where they need them to. The living armor will help out whatever lane is weakest. And this Undying is actually going to be something they have to very soon. Like, he's going to get big quickly. For now, though, it's going to be up top. The Zeus rotates up there, and Joe goes down bottom. But I don't feel that's much better. If XC is able to find a way to sustain his mana pool, Arcane Boots, Fairy Clarities, getting a bottle, I don't know. But if he gets a way to get mana, this decay is just going to be tearing through even the Slark. And he's Orb Venom harassing as well. Like, I really feel like this bottom lane is going to be something that old boys have a problem sending the right amount of forces to address. Like, essentially, it's not like a Broodmother lane where you have to like 3v1 it to feel confident about the lane, but it's still something where you have to start collaborating. You have to start rebuilding your defensive try, and at that point the tree and Lena just rotate bot.
Yeah, the tree is already down there. The Lena doesn't actually have to go, I think. I think this is just enough. It's kind of like what we talked about during the draft. Like, this is enough to put a lot of pressure on, and they don't have to overcommit to it. The Lena could still get her farm and stuff top.
Oh, they're going to try to Fissure block, but these guys are willing to go for the fight. They don't actually worry about whether they're able to escape, because they could just engage further. Leech Seed is almost there, but of course he does have the pounce out. So just really hurting Joe's CS early on. It's 10 for him, whereas the Aggressive Axe has picked up 14, and Sniper on the mid is up to now 19 and 7. Really outlasting the storm, but he's going to get lifted into the river. A lot of slows, even a stun, going to go against him here, but the living armor still keeping him up. Aggressive with the rotation, looking for the call, and that's a kill the other way. There's just no damage from Long DD. The living armor negates everything they have, and it'll be a double with the double shrapnel, and even more spins to come from the axe. What a great rotation. Living armor, it makes it so easy to contribute at a distance, and then one TP turns it around completely.
Yeah, I actually don't even know if they needed the first TP. I mean, for the TP for the first kill, but the second one's just like a bonus with it, and it just guarantees it. So it's really nice. And it's not something you'd expect really like this early from the safe lane core hero.
I feel like if Slark doesn't start building up really quickly, they're going to have some problems with damage output entirely. I mean, yeah, DD's getting there. He's level 4.5. But when it comes down to multiple instances of damage, really it's only the Dark Pack getting in people's face. Otherwise, their living armor is going to be blocking some big spells, some heavy hits, and actually Aggressive looking for more spins. Just one more spin. Just the right clicks. That bonus movement speed and reduction, thanks to the Battle Hunger, allows them to just chase down the Zeus no problem.
And the pressure just continues in the bot lane. They're stifling the Slark's farm quite a bit. He's almost got his mana boots as well, which is going to be huge for him on the Undying.
Long DD trying to stack things up, but it's already one mode golem camp, and he doesn't even get the stack, so that's just not working. We see one stack on the hard side. I'm assuming he didn't go for the hard camp just because of distance. Like, he hadn't made his move towards that camp fast enough, so he went for the closer one. But just all in all, it's just everything is not panning out the way it's supposed to for Old Boys' laning phase. Slark is now starting to build up farm, but he needs a lot more. And soon enough, Undying's going to be level 6, level 7. He's going to be doing that much more. He's actually, is he holding a point? Yeah, he's got 202 and is holding a skill point to see what he wants to do. Fisher block will come out. They'll try to lift him back over it, but again, the range just isn't there. And even gets the living armor from Garter. So yeah, that's not working out. That's just perfectly fine. A dual offlane of tanky heroes. He's literally Undying, this Dirge.
Yeah, and he's just about got his mana boots now, and he's just going to be able to sit there and value Soul Rip level 1 to heal up and keep spamming decays. It's pretty hard to deal with.
Yeah. Right now, the more wards are out for the Old Boys, but one is, both of them are actually dispelling very, very soon. I don't think Vision is going to really grant them much, though. They know where CDEC are. It's just that they can't do anything to break their foothold. Shiki here is just kind of hold position under the tower, perfectly fine, controlling the creep wave so that they have to dive to go up against him. And as long as there's like one TP available, pretty much every lane is safe right now. This Treant Protector is providing so much just survivability, and I feel like, again, it goes back to Old Boys not having quick damage. Like, if they can go for a quick kill, they're in a great position in this game. But right as it is, Q walking into like an entire horde of neutral creeps, but he still gets the Light Strike Array, and they're gonna get the dunk. That is a clean kill in TD, and I feel like there's no kill opportunities across the entire map, even if they collaborate 3v1.
Yeah, and I feel like that kill honestly probably shouldn't have happened. Oh, Storm's going in.
Oh yeah, he's gonna go here onto Aggressive, but he's gonna get taunted, and there's the living armor. Again, just shutting down anything the Storm can do. It is such a nuisance. And now Long DD, right-clicking against the Stout Shield, he doesn't have the damage. Luckily, there is a Fisher. They rotate 3, and they make it a 1-for-1. But it's still your solo mid, dying to the Axe, who's still farming up a Storm, 200 gold away from... I could go either the Vanguard or the Blink Dagger, to be honest.
Yeah, the Vanguard's not too bad of an option in this game. There is a lot of magical damage. Actually, most of it is magical damage. Yeah. But it still will let you, like, jungle really easily. You can take Ancient stacks, and you can pressure towers really easily.
Yeah, it looks like they haven't really been able to rotate over to the Ancient, so he's probably just going to go for the Blink Dagger and maybe set up a Sniper for a kill on mid. Like, a Sniper can start pushing aggressively, as you see here, and as soon as the Axe has the Blink, anybody that tries to defend the tower gets killed.
Right. The Storm is just not going to be able to do too much in this early phase. Not by himself. He's going to need always 1 or 2 people to go with him, or else he's not going to get any kills. So he's probably going to be forced to just farm, and I don't think that's what they want to do this game.
Yeah. So let's talk about Undying's tempo. At what point does he need to be taking objectives in order to kind of keep pace with what he brings to the early game? Like, obviously, people talk about how he falls off late game. A lot of that was helped out by the fact that his ultimate now goes through Magic Immunity. But even still, his abilities are naturally very static. We're going to see a fight break out. So Joe missing the pounce over the Fisher, but Zeus, fortunately, still connecting with his spells. Nature's Guide stolen by Long DD as he just hit level 6, but they have no more vision, and he's just going to go ahead and Leech Seed. The zombies are in pursuit. They're going to keep going. They'll gradually right-click down, but in the end, this is a 4-man bottom play, and they just barely get the kill on the Undying thanks to the Zeus ulti.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Yeah, and to comment on your question earlier, I would say if you're not stifling the carry farm, you really have to start putting the pressure on.
Radiant's top tower
by the time your tombstone is pretty much maxed.
Actually, a good catch out there. They were able to, despite having just gone bottom, they were able to rotate quite a few mid, and they were able to jump the sniper. I'm sorry, guys, that didn't catch that one. Probably the first kill I've completely missed today, but yeah, it is just a good amount of damage from all sides here, especially the Storm and the Slark getting the connection with Ball and Pounce.
Yeah, but at least he's done a ton of damage to the mid tower. Although he died, he did buy out. He got a lot of damage in, and they can prep a push there pretty soon. especially with this Axe Blink Dagger, and he's smoked up right now.
Yep, looking to... I mean, I think he's shown the Blink Dagger up top, so they know it exists, but the smoke gank can come out from so many different angles, and if they can bring down the Slark here, it's just a bad time for him. He has a Magic Stick, but he's on Agi Treads. I don't think he'll live through the burst. He'll just get Dragon Slaved and dunked, and that's another kill. Like, you're talking about suppressing the carrier's farm. First, he's farming in a really rough lane. He rotates, then he dies. Now he's... pretty much the sniper has 50% more net worth than the Slark, and we're only 10 minutes in.
Yeah, and they did do what I thought they might do with the dual lanes, where they gave Lena the lane. She got her level 6 pretty fast, and she's still farming quite well. So they're giving her a lot of farm priority, which I think is the right call.
Jump
She's
on mid.
Really well.
Yep, jump on mid comes out. They're just going to pursue with the sniper kind of able to fall through with all that damage. There's no way to get away from the Axe. There was a kill top on the support Undying, but or sorry, the support Treant Protector, but it's just that. It is a support kill for compared to picking up the Earthshaker and taking the tier 1. They're going to start pushing tier 1s heavily, I think. They have the Tombstone, they have the Blink on Axe. They can really just force objectives at this point as long as the sniper is willing to rotate with them.
Joes should be fine here. They did have a lane war scouting this out.
He still gets called even after the pounce. He'll try to go for the invis, and he will actually be able to. Lena can't connect with the Light Strike Array immediately, and it's just barely enough HP for the Slark to survive. Now turning out aggressive, a big kill if they can get it, but he limps away with 50 HP, blinking out. Now Q cleans up the Rubik, and Sniper almost kills off the Zeus. Gets headshot after headshot, but the lightning comes down. Decay from Undying will finish off the Zeus, and now he'll run. He'll get taunted in. They'll actually bring down the Slark. Oh, man, what an exchange. And the entire time, the Storm Spirit is unable to contribute. He was heading back to Fountain to refuel. Now he'll come in, try to bring down XZ, but this Undying, he's got Decay coming up. They've got another taunt. Is this going to be another kill? YYF without any mana, and now dunked down without a head. Oh, man. CDEC just building up the momentum, 13-5. There are some good kills going the way of Old Boys, but it's just not nearly as profitable as it needs to be.
Yeah, that was just a slight execution error by Joe there. He missed the pounce on the Undying at the end when he dove for the Zeus kill. That would have been an easy Undying kill, but unfortunately all of his damage missed. The pounce missed, and that meant the Dark Pact also missed, and then the Undying limps away with about 200, 300 HP, and then they get a return kill on him as well because he decides to keep chasing after missing the pounce.
Alright, so Rubik's pickup of the ultimate does equate to a Dragon Slave for now, so at least adding a little bit of damage. It's not ultimate status, but if you can get that and another spell out in the fight, they might be able to actually start bursting people down. Because so far the fights have been really stretched out when they've actually come to full-on clashes. The skirmishes are short, but the big fights with everybody involved, the Undying stays alive through all of it, and that's exactly the type of game that he likes to play. He just likes to keep on spamming his decay, keep using his mana and health pool to just build himself up and be just that much more powerful as things progress. But he goes for Medallion of Courage. Zeus ulti will scout, but there's no way they engage in the pit. Medallion will allow them to just clear out this Roche with the Sniper Mask of Madness. And who do they give the Aegis to? Is it just going to be the Sniper?
I think it's the Sniper, yeah. They need to he needs to be guaranteed the best hero for them in the late game, and if he doesn't have the Aegis, there's chances that, Old Boys commit a bunch to just making sure he dies every fight. So even if they maybe are losing fights, at least the Sniper will be shut down fairly well. So if he has the Aegis, that won't happen. He'll get his guaranteed items up, and he'll be able to carry this game.
Yep. So it takes a little longer than I expected. Of course, they don't have any Roche heroes. Just the Medallion of Courage really allows them to do that, and some tanky heroes that can at least survive against Roche. But yeah, in the end, we're going to be looking at top lane being pushed in pretty heavily, and CDEC haven't really looked to respond to this. It looks like they're just going to do their own thing, because they know that if they take this tier 1 bottom, they can probably follow it up with a tier 2. But Axe going top, now the Treant Protector. There's a kind of half-hearted commitment to this tier 1, and they think they can do something about it.
Here's the Axe with the tree invis too. Something they're probably not even planning for yet.
Oh, YYF going to get hit hard, but it looks like he'll have enough time to get out. It's just going to be actually the Sniper focusing on other targets. Overgrowth on Rubik, he's down, and it looks like the Storm will be able to zip out with the ball TP. Now going to try to get away is the Earthshaker. I'm not kind of surprised he didn't just keep running, but I guess it's hard to run from blinks and In this case, he tries to go for a aggressive maneuver without juking, and it gets punished heavily. Now the Undying taking some hits down bottom, but he's trading it even more so against the Zeus. There's 2 zombies on top of him, getting the decay stacks, healing himself up. He needs to get this kill, though, to get the Flesh Golem heal. 1 more decay. Building himself back up a little bit more, but Zeus is still alive, and here comes the ball. They're actually going to get the kill against him thanks to that Soul Ring, and wow, that is a hefty commitment from the Undying. The end result is a sniper kill in the tower top, but Zeus did deny bottom.
Yeah, it was really close there. Really, really, really close. But they do get a tower, so in the end, it's good space for them. And they can heal their tower top now because of the fight that they won.
I like the Assassinate Steal from LungDD too. That's really good against the Sniper. Like, look, he just dropped him down with a Fissure and the Assassinate against Mask of Madness. He dropped him down to about 100 HP. It's the living armor that actually keeps him up.
Yeah, unlike a Sniper, you can actually spam that with the Mana Boots, so it's pretty strong.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of the bursts that they've been eating, right?
Wait, you don't build Arcane Boots Basilius like the tutorial tells you to? Come on, man.
No, I don't.
But Joe, what's his first item in this game? Is it like Drums of Endurance just to try to get something online, or does he actually like try to build up towards like a later progression towards like 25 minutes, Sanjin Yasha, something like that?
I feel like they have to plan for the late game, although they're getting a lot of pressure on them. I feel like they have to shoot for the late game, and I think it might just be a delayed Midas.
Okay, I mean, it's definitely possible. It definitely is. Kind of the amount of gold that he's holding on to at this point, you start asking between the Midas and the Blink. Can you kind of weigh the pros and cons of those options as we watch mid?
Yeah, so the Midas will guarantee that he actually has a lot of stuff late game, but if they're getting there's too much pressure at this point, it might not pay off early enough. The Blink will give him more aggressive potential, but he's a little underfarmed, so using it and actually taking fights is probably not what they're going to be doing anyway. So if he wants to be as greedy as possible, I would say the Midas. But if he wants to just try to rat the best as possible and avoid fights and still have some aggressive potential, the Blink's a nice option. So that's what he opts for. The middle ground, in my opinion, would be like a Scotty. But
yeah, but I mean, that's ambitious. That's a lot of gold to build up. So of course, we're going to see him jump around with that Blink Dagger. Might actually save his life this time, but he's got to get to the side shop to get the TP. So, he expended mana. And now they're going to scout him out with a Flying Courier. And he does get the Blink away, but, I mean, they can keep on top of him. Courier, bait, and there's the Blink forward. Aggressive. Going to get the kill on Joe here. And yeah, this is really causing some issues. I mean, he gets the Blink out. It almost saves him, but it's just without the TP scroll, he's not able to disengage, and he can get to the fight, but who does he focus down when he blinks on like the back line? Like, does he always go for the sniper here, or what?
It's the sniper or a support hero of some kind, like the Lina or the tree, maybe. It's just really hard because I feel like he doesn't have quite enough damage to make his aggressive potential with this Blink Dagger work out. But it will help him split push a bit, so that's something. It can't be underestimated.
Yep, finding some good picks, but now it's going to be a response from YYF, trying to make something of it, but there's the Overgrowth locking him in. Still disposed will slay the Lina, but the Tombstone comes down. 820, going to take a lot of physical damage with the Medallion against him, and it looks like he'll go down very, very slowly. Soul Ring into the dunk. Oh, man. Now out of mana, YYF will go and retreat, and the Slark will dodge out as well. So top lane, Zeus does some more work against the towers. First to deny, and now setting up the Radiant to last hit it. So he's actually given themselves a decent position as far as gold goes in this game, but overwhelmingly the kills are the big deal here. CDEC, they're pushing him forward with a 12 kill advantage and already hitting on the tier 2, which will be fortified.
So Shiki here had this age just long enough for him to farm with a BKB, so now he's still pretty unkillable. And he's just going to have his guaranteed farm. He's going to keep sieging, farming a lot, and then he's going to start working on his damage items. Really good game for him.
Yeah, Shiki seems like in these past 2 games really has a great timing for his BKBs. Like he knows exactly when he's going to be pressured magically, and it seems like he has it at the exact time. Now they're going to go for the 2-man call, 3-man if you get the Storm who's voluntarily hitting the axe. But that hero is not one you bring down. He's got a BKB, wand, an Undying, a tree. He's unkillable, and now Zhou goes in. They're committing to fights as if they have a stake in the outside of their base, but man, they've already lost 2. They're about to lose a 3rd. Aggressive, looking for the blink, the zombie in pursuit. Zhou just going to get assassinated, it looks like. Nope. Yules will drag it out until Undying gets the decay. But, I mean, trying to go for the axe, they're trying to go for anything there. It seems like there's no option but fleeing for Old Boys, but they're still trying to commit. I mean, the Slark does end up doing 1650 damage on the back end of it, but nobody drops low at all.
Yeah, it seems like the switch situation they're in, they feel like if they can't win a fight, there's no way they're going to win the game because they'll probably get out-farmed with how much killing potential CDEC have. The fact that they'll be able to choke them out really easily.
Do you agree with that?
It's really hard to say. I agree with it to an extent. I do think they kind of have to win in the late game, but I don't know if they're going to get there if they don't have some kind of thing going their way.
Jumping in here onto the Storm, bursting him quickly. Axe pops the BKB, so they just can't do anything in return. And now Zeus, he almost kills the Lina. They do get the Lina with the jump from the Slark. Blink Pounce comes in. Nice Laguna as well onto the tree. But can they do anything more? Undying with the mechanism coming out. He will heal himself up, but Aggressive isolated by the Slark. So Aggressive will go down. XZ getting a ton of healing from his Flesh Golem. Decay as well. He survives for so long. It's even going to be the Long DD who pops the smoke at his seat against the Tombstone zombies and is just barely able to get out of the radius of the shrapnel. Still, Zhou overstays his welcome against the BKB sniper, and that will wrap up the fight. A huge golden experience swing going for Old Boys. They do lose 3, but they get so much out of that. 2 BKB charges, 2,500 gold, and 7,200 experience going their way. Just really a good Echo Slam, a great amount of focus fire as they isolated their targets. The Slark starting to really come online.
Yeah, so we see, I mean, their plan's kind of working. They're getting the small trades that they want, get the comeback gold in their favor, and that smoke actually saved them really big time there. If he didn't smoke there, the Zeus and the Rubik would have died as well.
Oh yeah, that's. I mean, that Zeus, that smoke was really cool. It just, I mean, obviously, for those that don't get the mechanic, if the heroes aren't in range, the smoke will actually turn you invis, and that will allow you to get away from like random creeps that are trying to hit you down. I used to actually work on Brewmaster's ultimate, which was really annoying for him when he was going for solo kills, but they did fix that. So it's just for like Lycan summons and for zombies in this case. I don't think I've ever seen it used on zombies, but yeah, it certainly does work.
Legit. Really clutch.
And yeah, but the Echo Slam is interesting because it actually, although it won't damage the Tombstone zombies, it actually does count for them in the creep count when it actually looks for echoes. So he was able to put out a ton of damage in that fight thanks to that, and I mean, they were able to win out the fight in the end. So you got to attribute every little bit of it to helping them take a fight they otherwise wouldn't. But we do see a smoke play coming out. The Radiant Observer Ward knows that they're on the offensive, knows that they're on the Radiant side of the map, but with this smoke out of vision, they're not sure where, and they might be caught out the same way the Storm was initially. Looks like they'll rotate up top, though. They're looking for, it looks like the Slark now as the Storm TP's back home, and Joe's going to be in the jungle for a little bit longer, so still a good timing window for CDEC to find another kill.
So I kind of want to reevaluate my stance on the Midas versus the Blink and stuff, because this Blink is actually helping him rat really well, which is kind of what they need as well. He needs to like find farm somewhere, and
blinking into everyone though. Oh wow, the pounce out of the call. This time the Slark proves how slippery he can be, but he's gonna have to do more than that. The assassinate, he actually breaks the mini stun and the battle hunger, but he still gets stunned by the light struck array. Very close with that TP, but sayonara, Slark. He's really, like you said, forced a lot. I mean, they were all the way down here when they smoked. They were all the way down in the center of the Radiant jungle, and they move all the way across the map. So it is space created in its own way, and the Blink does allow him to do that. But in the end, he needs to be buying time for himself as much as for his teammates, and it's painful for him to go down.
Yeah, what I was basically trying to say is that although the Midas will give you a lot of farm if you can use it off cooldown and get a lot of levels, the problem is he won't really be able to get around the map and do it. He's just gonna get picked off everywhere he goes if he just has a Midas. So the blink allows him to still get farm somewhere using Dark Pact to flash farm jungle camps or push out lanes, and then just escape relatively safely with the blink dagger. So I like this choice a lot, actually. I think it makes the most sense the more I think about it.
Alrighty, so we've got the Storm Spirit picking up the Orchid Malevolence. No defensive pickup from him, no Bloodstone, no BKB. Just goes straight for this item that he feels will do the most good. And he's up against 2 BKBs, so he has limited target choices. Actually, a Eul Scepter on Lina too, so really only going to be silencing the Undying, who will try to kind of use his Mechanism Magic Wand to negate some of that amplification of damage. And the Tree and Protector, of course, would be just probably too tanky to bring down with it like solo. So he's got to use it just in the fights.
I feel like it has to be the tree, unless he's waiting for a BKB to come down, because if he doesn't go on the tree, whoever he goes on is going to get armored.
True. Very true. Now we see actually a nice lightning bolt here. They're going to scout everything out, but whether that's the fight they want to take or not is a completely different story. We're going to see Garter go down very quickly, gets living armor out on himself, and he will go on the run with the guys. They still don't have the vision. The Zeus is down. They can't detect him. Now they pounce him, but that just blocks Joe from disengaging. 820 will get out on the western side, but the Earthshaker is not the one they're worried about. It's the Slark going down for the second time in a minute and a half, and now they look to push in on this. The tier 3 should be their goal, and the Glyph is going to be the only thing standing in their way.
Poor 820, he just got his Blink Dagger, and he was so excited to Echo, and then he ran up and get hit by a zombie, and then canceled his Blink and Echo nothing.
It probably spawned like right on him right then, too.
Yeah, it was really rough.
That's so frustrating. Now we see them trying to do the high ground defense, but Storm really doesn't have the mana pool to keep on Fountain zipping like that. Like, he can barely get it off, but the regen in Fountain is very slow. In the end, though, it's enough to dissuade them from pursuing further. The Glyph and third or half of the tier 3 tower is going to be all that they take away from that. And they'll just regroup, farm up the Lina Axe, which will come out in just 100 gold. I figure as a support, she's happy to buy out for that. So yeah, there she goes. And that's pretty much where we'll stay until the Pipe of Insight's complete on the Undying. He'll pick that up to just give them even more potential to survive throughout the fights, and of course they're going to give the Aegis once again to the Sniper.
Yeah, CDEC's like entirely happy with not getting that tower there. They still got half HP on it, and oh, there might be a kill here.
Oh, sorry, I didn't actually catch that, but it is just a Slark all by himself. The Laguna Blade are doing 675 here already, so if they can get any lockdown on him to start, then it's a great position. Now, was that a Eul's combo, or is that just straight up?
That was the Tree Invis combo, basically. He invis the Lina onto him, and then they both went in and
that makes sense.
Blew him up really fast.
Gotcha. Good call. So I was actually looking at Shiki's items at the time, and I actually love his progression. The fact is, he went as soon as his Aegis was expiring, he picked up the defensive item he needed. He's used it twice, the BKB. And then as soon as he's picking up the Aegis again, he's immediately buying out all of his buyback gold to go for the offensive pickup. And so he has not only the Aegis, but he has Mjolnir on top. And just attacking so fast, he's going to do so much damage in these fights. All they have to do is keep the Sniper covered. CDEC, they just have to create a buffer zone with the Tree, the Axe, the Undying. And they're looking to start that off with a Tombstone. A couple people guysed up on the sides, the Tombstone now in the base. And yeah, he just pops the Flesh Golem and says, come at me. In this position, it's perfectly fine for them to keep sieging away. The Golem will only last a certain amount of time, but soon enough, either the tier 3 is gone and the base is open, or the fight breaks out in their favor. Now seeing YYF try to go for something, but no, they're just gonna have to walk away from that, and the Rax is now in jeopardy.
Yeah, the Tombstone positioning is really nice because...
Ooh, long DD going down very early, and 820 again can't get the echo he's looking for. Oh, wow, what a jump in, trying to make it happen, but now the Storm buying back. He cannot pursue far enough to actually clean this. There's just too much HP, too much survivability on the side of CDEC. The mechanism is strong, and soon that pipe will be even stronger for just dissipating all that damage. I really think it was a good chance for Old Boys if they were able to just stick to the fight a little bit longer, even with the Storm buyback. But CDEC disengaged at the right time to heal up a little bit more, and they're right back in it.
Yeah, the thing about Sniper is that he's so good at offense and defense in terms of the base. He's so good at holding his high ground with shrapnel and his long range, and he's so good at sieging with it as well.
Oh, enemy shrapnel actually canceling Blink Dagger from Axe this time, so Shiki's vulnerable. And yeah, they can't call it to save him. So he'll go down once. The Aegis broken, but they're not done yet here. We've got the jump in, aggressive, kills off the Axe. They kill the Rubik with just a few pot shots from the sniper long range, and that's enough shrapnel from you, he says. Joe on the front line, his last stand here in this game, but he gets called during the Shadow Dance, and he'll go down too. This is going to be the mid laner Rex. That's a 4-man wipeout, but I think they'll hold on for a little bit longer. DD trying to kite it. He will fall. Do they go for another lane? It seems like they have enough of an advantage. They're actually just going to call GG. They have lost so much in this. They feel they cannot come back, even with just the 1 lane down and possibly more structural damage coming. So they call it, they tap out, and here, 30 minutes in, we see CDEC closing out a 2-0 sweep over Old Boys, 38-11.
Yeah, I really liked the way CDEC's draft worked out for them this game. They did start out with a safe lane tri-lane because they predicted and they saw that Old Boys was trying to dodge. And so they just leave the Undying to solo. He's going to be fine. And then as soon as they make rotations, they move the tree like I figured they would at the start. And they put pressure on that lane with those two. And the Lina takes over the lane top, and she's given a lot of farm priority. She's able to get 16 in Ags and just pretty much solo any core because they give her so much. And the Undying gets just enough where he's still a threat, but he doesn't need as much as the Lina to be a presence on the map in the late game.
Yeah, and the Undying pick works out pretty well. We weren't sure how exactly it was going to fit in. Like, I've seen Garter play Undying in the past, and that's a little bit of a different style. But this style where they got the experience and the momentum and build up on the heroes they needed to, they were really able to build it up. And generally when I see that sniper tree in opener, I'm like, oh man, we got the game where a losing team is losing slower, and it just gets frustrating. But this was a completely different style. This was a great tempo. I love to see the offensive stance here, and it really limits Joe's potential to come back. I mean, he's shut down 110-5 on the Slark. Just can barely break 330 GPM. This was a really solid game from CDEC, and it gives them 2 points against the Old Boys here in the group stage of iLeague China's qualifier. So once again, thank you guys very much for tuning in here. That's going to wrap it up for us here today. Just had these 2 best of 2s. Tomorrow we're going to be bringing you guys some more iLeague China action. I think we've got 3 2-game series coming up then. Maybe that's Saturday, actually. Yeah, Saturday is going to be 3. Tomorrow is going to be 2. And it's just going to be more Chinese Dota. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the commentary here today. If you did, hit us up on our Twitters over at twitter.com/playscasting, twitter.com/FlyingZebra, Dota. And following it up, of course, you can keep on top of all the Beyond the Summit streaming over at Beyond the Summit TV. Also some information for the Summit 3, which is just around the corner with some 6.84 metagame. That's going to be fun. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for us here today. It's been a pleasure, and hopefully you guys have a good evening. That's all for now. That was the last game, and we will see you guys tomorrow.